How's it going? It's been a long time between videos. I think the last one I made was at the start of the lockdown last year, and here we are in another lockdown this year. So of course I'm making a video. No, but I actually do have a really good reason to make it, and it is because I got a new bass. Before I get into showing you that, I just want to make a quick disclaimer, just eliminate that slight elephant in the room. Not an endorsement, not endorsed by ESP in any way. I am completely, by self-admission, a total hack bass player. I'm a guitar player turned bass player because the opportunity arose. And I still have fun with it, and I learn what I'm told to, and you know, I hold it down. I think I do okay. But yeah, not an endorsement. So this actually came about because I work for a guitar store. I have my whole life. My family owns a guitar store here in Sydney, which I'll link down below, and if you want to check that out, that would be much appreciated. But I've always enjoyed a really close working relationship with the guys at ESP Australia, even the teams in Japan and North America. I've visited the factory in Japan twice. I've visited America several times now. You know, going to the NAMM shows and going to their head offices there and their factory there. All lovely, lovely people, some that I consider great friends. And yeah, they helped me out a lot with purchasing this because anyone can custom order an ESP. It is very expensive, admittedly. So I did get some help there, and I'm eternally grateful to them for that. But yeah, not given to me as any endorsement. So before we get a little bit of this, cool your jets. So without further ado, here it is. So this is the product of, I think, a process we started about 2 years ago. It took a long time, and COVID certainly didn't help that. I actually got to play one single show with it before making this video. We were due to play a bunch of shows with our friends in Polaris, but COVID had other ideas, so one is going to do it for now. So if you've followed our band Above Below at all for a little while, you probably saw a bass playthrough video I did last year with an LTD bass, which is the B1005 MS model. So this is heavily based off that in terms of the body shape. The headstock shape I changed. I borrowed from an E2 Japanese line bass called the CR5, if I'm not mistaken. Slightly more of a vintage style headstock. Which I think looks nicer to me. I'm not a huge fan of the pointy headstock in the bass line, but you know, to each their own. And yeah, from that point onwards, we just looked at customizing it, and I'll take you through that now. So, another elephant in the room before anyone gets too fired up about it. There are a lot of design elements that I borrowed from the Dingwall Nolly basses, the one that I've been playing for the last few years, because hey, it's the gold standard for this kind of music. They got a lot of things right, and there's absolutely no reason to try and reinvent the wheel. So in terms of shared elements, same fan fret, so it's 37 inch on the thickest string, 34 on the lightest. So that's, that really works for me, especially because we tune so low to drop E. I actually asked about going longer than that, but I think they were like, what the hell is this guy talking about? So we left it at that. Same sort of bridge pieces used. These are Hipshot solos, I think. And then similarly, Hipshot tuning machines, which is just, tons of basses use them. They're really great. The pickups is a bit of an interesting story. I got in touch with Nordstrand, who make great stuff all around, and they were in the LTD bass I borrowed for that video, and I thought, got no reason not to talk to them. And they recommended going with basically they make a model called a Dingstrand Nordwall, which sounds kind of funny, but it's basically based off the pickups that they helped design for the Canadian basses that Dingwall make. So they thought that would be best for the tuning, and I, again, didn't want to argue. The one thing I did ask is that I asked if I could go with the rounded pickup covers, because I think the rectangular pickup covers, when they're slanted like that, look a bit off to me. And they said they don't actually have covers like that, but you can actually write to Dingwall and ask if you can just purchase a set of shells, and they were gracious enough to sell me some. So I had them sent to Nordstrand in California, and then they sent them over to ESP in Japan. So yeah, these are Dingstrand Nordwall pickups in Dingwall covers, which is, you know, it is a bit confusing seeing Dingwall branded pickups in an ESP base, but that's just how we got here. So they sound really cool. Another shared design element, the Dark Glass preamp. Again, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So it's got the bass and then the two mids, so low mid and high mid, which makes a lot of sense. You know, we're tuning so low and there's not really a whole lot of reason to go boosting or cutting super high frequencies. The one thing that I need to get changed on this at the moment is that it has a pickup selector that goes kind of continuously between bridge neck and then I think a parallel kind of setting in the middle. I am missing that series punch quite a lot, so I've got a four-way selector on the way to me now where we'll rewire that a little bit. But hey, it still sounds pretty good as it is. It's just, you know, that series punch is pretty sick, so we'll get to that. The neck is a 7-piece maple, think Wenge and I think Paduk. I could be wrong, especially in pronunciation there. But again, that was similar to what the LTD base uses, and ESP recommended that over going with just maple. They said this is the best stability, so you know, happy to take their advice on that, and it looks beautiful. It's a matte finish on the back. Sounds great, so you know, kudos to them. The fingerboard is Wenge, which looks really nice, really beautiful grain variation there. I did actually ask for ebony at first, just out of like, it's like basically the de facto kind of standard for ESP Japanese basses and guitars. You know, there's so much ebony being used there, but they had concerns about having a wide enough piece to do this fingerboard, so they wanted to do Wenge instead. And you know, they're the masters. I wasn't gonna question that too much. And then yeah, I guess that just about covers it. The finish is really kind of the talking point here. The finish is amazing. I think I saw a really similar guitar being worked on when I was at the Japanese factory a couple of years ago that I took a photo of, and I was just like, man, this is amazing. And I think, you know, there's a couple of similar things out there as well. We played a show a couple of years ago with Chelsea Grin, and I remember seeing one of their Aristides guitars had a similar finish to this, which just, you know, in person under the lights and everything just looks amazing. So I'll put up a video right now on screen that I shot in the sunlight this morning. You can see what I mean. It looks unbelievable. So yeah, that was kind of the big personality part of doing this custom design, and I could not be happier with how it turned out. So that about covers it. I'll be making hopefully a lot more videos with this particular bass and doing a whole lot of cool stuff. We're working on new music right now. So if you want to see more of it, please do the like and subscribe thing. I know it's a pain in the ass being asked all the time, but hey, it really shows me that there's a point in doing it, and really helps the channel. So I'll leave it with a few little short sound examples because I know you're going to want them, and thank you for sticking with me, and thanks for watching.